All right, time for a new filament. Hatchbox PETG. My first reel of Hatchbox, believe it or not. I've been printing a couple years plus now, and I've always found other manufacturers that were a little bit cheaper seem to work okay, but I've been trying to print these sabak trays and using this Polymaker PETG, so $1 cheaper. And I had a lot of under extrusion problems. So this is obviously not any good. I did get a couple good ones out. But the last one I did had lots of strings on it. I wasn't really happy with it, so I used up about half of this reel. Yeah, I got 500 grams left. So I might try it one more time with some other parameters, but I just haven't had a lot of good luck with this. My favorite PETG is from California Filaments. I got some reviews up on that. And this stuff prints like a dream. Goes down super smooth, never clogs up, comes off easy, really good adhesion all around. So unfortunately these guys don't make a gold color like this, which is what I want. So anyway, like I say, I started with Polymaker, and now I'm trying this Hatchbox. So let's open it up. So here's the Hatchbox. Let's get this out of the way. And it's got a nice vacuum on it. It's got a desiccant packet in it. So it says it's a gold color. So it's a little bit darker gold than this, maybe, possibly. A little bit darker gold. To see how that turns out. This dark gold is fine too. I'm not looking for shiny gold. So this says print from 230 to 260. So that's mostly within the limits of our printers. We can go up to 248. So I print this California filament at 237 and it prints fine. So I tried this at 239, seemed to print pretty well, but then had clogging problems, so I actually printed this at up to 248 and still had some problems. So let's go and open this up. So it has a good vacuum on it, so it should be nice and dry. PETG is very hydroscopic, so it likes water. So I'll be keeping this in the dry box like everything else. Give a closer look at that color. So this is a little bit different than this one on the right here. That's okay. These could be considered prototypes, so even if I may or may not sell these, I'm not sure. So if I can get this filament to work perfectly, then I'll just use this as my color. So let's weigh it up and we'll see how much we got. All right, so we'll just get the total weight. We don't have an empty reel of this yet, obviously. It's a brand new manufacturer. So we'll get the total weight, including the reel, is 1258, which this reel shouldn't be more than about a little over 220 grams, probably, this plastic reel. I do have this Filicube reel. It's not quite the same, a little bit smaller. So I could put this on as a tear, but I think I'll just skip that. So I would say I'm about 98% sure we got our full 1 kilogram. So that's always good. All right, so we're gonna do a temperature tower. We're gonna do a wide temperature tower from 233 up to 247, and we'll just see. I really want to try to dial this one in because I had so many problems with this one. I did spend some time trying to dial this in, but it was very touchy, right? Going from 10% fan to 5% made a huge difference. So that's not very encouraging. So we'll go ahead and we'll do a temperature tower, and we'll take it from there. Testing. All right, here's our temperature tower, and this is one of the tallest ones we've done in a long time. Main reason is we got to get this filament to work, so we don't have too many more options. There's other makers, but it can get expensive to keep trying different filaments. I want this one to work, obviously. So we're going to try a wide temperature range and see what's best for this filament. So again, the way this pointy temperature tower works is you set up the beginning temperature, which is down at the bottom, 247, and then you set the ending temperature and the steps. So we're only doing it every 2 degrees, so it gives us lots of coverage between these extremes here. And my version, which again there's a link to this in the show notes, you can put in the filament type down here, and you can put PET for PETG. So only room for 3 letters, so that'll give you the idea. All right, so we'll compile this and export it as an STL, then we'll bring it into Simplify 3D and set up the temperature profile gradient that we need to use to get this to print out correctly. All right, so here's our project in Simplify 3D, and again, it's going. There's our temperature tower. So now we need to set up our gradient using the gradient temperature set up in on the temperature tab. So we've been printing all of our PETG with a 65-degree bed temperature. That seems to give good adhesion with the Flashforge sticker surface, which has some roughness to it. So, but for the extruder, we need to have this gradient. So so the first 18 layers gets you up to the top of this first bridge, and then layer 53 is the top of the second bridge, and so on. So it's every 35. Yeah, once you get to the top of the first bridge, it's every 35 layers after that. So we started at 247. That's going to print the base at 247. Then it's going to start printing the temperature tower, which is actually 18 is right around in here. I think this is the top of the base, I think, yeah. And then once we finish this bridge, I'll stop clicking there. Once we finish this bridge, then we lower the temperature by 2 degrees all the way up to the top. So you always want to start with your highest temperature at the bottom so you prevent clogging. At some point it may clog. So if you put your lowest temperature at the bottom, you won't get anything out. So that's what this is about. Now for cooling, for this one I've got 50% cooling. Usually for PETG, you have to have some cooling, which I showed you on the last filament review. I've been going more with 10%, but I'm going to use 50% here just because, see if the bridges come out better. I try to avoid bridging in my projects, just especially unsupported bridging, unless it's over a very short area, because otherwise it just lowers print quality. So in any case, we'll use 50% this time, and then we'll tweak it some more when we're actually making the product. So, all right, there's our tower, and then we just prepare to print. And this usually these take an hour because I only have maybe 5 temperatures, but we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 temperatures. So it's taking about an hour and 25 minutes, and so that's not too bad. We'll set it over to a SIM card, and we'll plug it in the Flashforge and print it up. Alright, let's see how we did. Bed adhesion is good, not too tight, not too loose, nice clean bottom. What I really like is all of these points over here are all from 247 all the way up to 235. Even this one is starting to show some deterioration at 233, but 237 looks really good. This is with 50% fan after the first layer, which is more than I've been using on some of my other PETGs. Usually I use 10% fan. I end up using 5% with this Polymaker stuff. You can see the Polymaker, you know, at 239 it was okay, but then it started deteriorating immediately. So I didn't print this at higher temperatures because I was trying to avoid those, because it just seems like the hot end gets just clogged up a lot more when you go over 240. Normally it's a 240 machine, but you can actually set it to 248. So I have been printing my California Filament's PETG at 237, and this looks like 237 is fine to me. So I'm going to try printing our bed and layer adhesion test at 237. Actually, 239 looks slightly better on the bridging. Well, I think it's about the same. So I'm going to try 237 because that's what I'm using for everything else. It'd be a lot simpler if I can get it to work at that temperature. Strength is good. Bridge strength even at the lowest temperature is really good. So I'm really happy with the Hatchbox so far. I hope it's going to be our winning filament for our project. So here's the color again, color difference. You can see this is slightly brighter. This is more of a, got some more brown in it, which, you know, I think that's actually better because I'm going to be contrasting this with brightly colored credits and coins. So the fact that this is a little bit dull, I think is actually okay. There's a lot of shininess to it. You can see a little shine there. So that's good. It picks up the light. It's just not as bright as this one, which I think this is a lot closer to what the color I used for gold credits and coins. So I think this contrast is actually better. So a little bit of rationalization there, but I think this is going to work for me.
If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Post a comment if you have any questions or ideas, and I'll try to respond. That's all for now, but more videos are coming, and if you want to see them, please subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification icon if you don't want to miss one. This is Beta Cygni signing out, and keep looking up.